Hey guys, it's Lucas. Sorry I didn't continue on from the series from the first video. I kind of got sidetracked because of school and that kind of stuff. But I'm back for Wrath. I didn't come back at the release, the day it came out. I kind of regret now because I am back playing Wrath. I just started leveling my Paladin bubble, which you're seeing right now the other day. He's only level 75, but within the next few days, I plan to have him around maybe even level 80. And doing instances right off the bat, so I'll give you videos about that in the future. I wanted to show you my new UI, which I have now. It's nice with the new version of YouTube that you can now, I could put links on the side of the screen for you to click on and get the add-ons that I'm talking about right now. We have Pitbull for my new user interface instead of my old one. Pitbull's a lot cleaner and crisper. And you can almost customize it in any way you could possibly think, so that's really nice. We have Bartender 4 still for my action bars, so you can cluster it together. And then for my chatting bars, I have Pratt and then Chatter, which is a new one. It's basically the same thing, just it adds on a little bit more. Over here, we still have Omen, new version of Omen, which looks pretty cool. And then Recount, which I have kind of wedged into the side of my screen, so it looks pretty cool. Pally Power, as always. And then my new add-on, called Citrina Buff Frames. Citrina Buff Frames is a lot less thin and thick than Elcano Buff Bars, and also it's very it's vertical on the side of your screen, so it's not taking up a lot of space, and you can see everything right where you need it. One of the newer spells for Paladins to look out for is Judgments of the Pure, where it increases my spell's haste by 15% for a minute after casting a Judgment, which is really nice, and it really boosts the game mechanic for Paladin, which I really like. So this is footage from one of the bosses in Violet Hold, which is an instance a lot like Mirage. It's not a very hard fight, and you'll see right off the bat I judge him with Judgment of Light. So that puts it on him, and you also get 0.2 seconds off your Flash of Light if you originally, I think I have 80 haste, and by having that it brings it down to about 1.27, but it doesn't really matter that 7. But what it does is it makes it so every time they attack the guy, they're getting health back, which is really nice, so it takes some load off. As you can see here, I'm healing the tank, but I'm also, later on in the fight, I'm also healing the second on aggro and the closest to the boss, which is a Death Knight we have. And so, this is where another spell comes in called Beacon of Light. It's basically so I can heal 2 guys at once. Usually you put it on the tank, so then if you heal any of the DPS, that's within 40 yards of the tank also gets healed for the same amount you healed them for. I'll have an icon like that after this one so you can check it out and see it for yourself. It's a really nice, really beneficial to the Paladin, so now you don't have problem with AoE healing like you did in the past. So the fight's almost over. It's not a very long boss fight. It's not a very difficult boss fight. It's a really good ease into the instance. So we downed him there, no deaths, not really too many problems. There's some nice cloth spell power gloves for the mages out there. Feel free to pause the movie, or the video rather, and read these things off. But this is Beacon of Light. It's what I was just talking about, and I explained it pretty well up there, so I'm not going to go too far in depth, but it's a really nice spell effect, and I suggest you read it right now. This is a spell called Divine Plea. It's a really nice spell because you get 25% of your total mana back. But while you're getting the mana back, you also lose 20% of your healing. It's not that hard to put it into the fight strategically so it doesn't affect you that much. You're going to see in the next few clips, you'll see me go down. It's my number 4 key on the action bar. You'll see me put it in there strategically so it doesn't affect me that much. So we're doing Trash right here, which is also going to lead on to a very difficult boss fight. Right here, he just pulled the trash coming out of the portal, like Black Mirror's, and as soon as I get up there, what I do, as soon as I see entering combat on my pop-up text, I click Beacon of Light on the tank. I usually have him as my focus target. So right now I'm just healing a little bit, and then over here you see me click my Divine Plea button. So you'll see my Flash of Lights aren't healing for about 500, they're only healing for about 1990 to about 2010. Which, it's still not that bad, so during Trash, it's perfectly fine to have it on, as long as possible, and it's only a 1-minute cooldown, so it's really nice. Right here, you'll actually see we try to stun this guy because we don't really see what happens. He actually goes up and releases the boss, And I wasn't expecting it because it's the first time I've been in here. But this boss is incredibly difficult. I wasn't expecting because he does so much AoE damage. And still, even with Beacon of Light, AoE damage is so hard to stop with the new specs and everything. So you'll see me have a little bit of trouble up here. And there's a few things I wish I had done, like use Divine Illumination or that kind of stuff. But, you know, it's minor things. We get through the fight fine. So instantly you see me judge the boss and then use Beacon of Light. I'm right now I'm spamming myself and I'm spamming full rank Flash of Light, but you don't see my mana going down that much because of the new talents and that kind of stuff. And right here you'll see me strategically put in Divine Plea. Actually, you see me taking a ton of damage. It's really surprising me seeing all this resisting and that kind of stuff. So that's instantly when I put on Bubble. That, you know, Bubble kind of is for Pallies is your safety net. You're gonna put it on. You don't have to worry about yourself. So at this point, I'm almost spamming Holy Light. And right here, you see me click my Divine Plea, and I'm spamming Holy Light. It's not that big of a problem because I'm getting 25% of my mana back. So you'll see, even though I'm spamming it, I still have quite a bit of mana. But you see all the guys going down pretty fast, and it's kind of worrying me. So I'm kind of just spamming everything I possibly can and hoping it comes out right. And eventually it does, which is really nice. The tank gets a little bit low there. Not that big of a problem. He survives it. Holy Shock is also a very new, viable, very actually reliable aspect of healing now because the new crit system is majorly coming into effect for Pally healers. And there's a new spell where every time you get a critical on your Holy Strike, you get an instant cast. You get an instant cast Flashlight, so it's almost having like 2 Holy Shocks. And then right there, I got a really nice necklace, which I was very excited about getting. And so this next recording is just me and the mage talking about who's going to get it. And I end up winning, so I'm very, very happy about that. It's a very nice necklace. And I'll give you a clip of it at the end of the clip. Here's that instant cast Flashlight spell I was talking about. It's called Infusion of Light, so every time you get a critical on your Holy Shock, you get an instant cast Flashlight, which is really nice, and it also makes your Holy Light as fast as a Flash Knight, so watch out for this in your talent tree. Alright, so here's the last boss. He's not as difficult as the second boss I just faced, but he's still, you know, pretty difficult. You see me use Infusion of Light pretty time, so I'm adding this in there, you know, testing a few things out. So I instantly get my distance away, judge, right here I judge Light, because with a talent tree you can get 40 yards on your judgment, so it's almost like you can be back with the casters and the mages, and still use judgments. So right off the bat, I use my judgment and my Divine Plea, so it doesn't affect me later in the fight when usually the majority of big name spells that the bosses use come in. So right now I'm not wasting any of my mana, I still have about 95% mana, I'm doing great. And then right here, he starts volleying almost down on the ground. And so you see me, along with a few other people in the party, losing a lot of health. So I have to get them back up, but I don't have to worry so much about the tank. Because remember, he has Beacon of Light on him. So every time I heal a member of the party, he gets that health too. So I can basically worry about the DPS and know that the tank's going to stay alive. So I used right here, in a few minutes, you're going to see me actually, there we go, I got a critical on my Holy Shock, and then there you go, I just clicked myself, and I got an instant cast Flashlight, which luckily critted as well, so it's almost like 2 Holy Shocks, that's pretty nice. People get pretty low still for Pallies, and you gotta realize with Pally healers, they're never gonna be able to top you off, you know, they don't have circle of healing like Priest, but, you know, still, we're gonna keep you up, you know, and we have the skills to do so. So, as you can see, it's really nice, because when all these melee Death Knights I have are attacking the boss, they're getting health back every time they attack, and a lot of them are attacking pretty fast, so it's really nice, and I don't need to worry about their health as much as usual. And there we go, the boss dies, and I've actually had this drop twice now. It's a Druid staff, and I'll put these drops at the end of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. He took me